to accomplish tomorrow?
It's a great feeling to be back, man. You know, I'm just looking to go out there and look like the fighter I was once before. You know, I know the type of skills I have. I know what level I'm on. And like I said, when I'm 100%, it's a dangerous Swift. So I plan on going out there and get a dominant stoppage in dominant fashion.
Güey, aquí estoy con el profesor Jason Gallego preparándome para mi pelea. Vengo de perder, pero miren el ánimo. 10 rounds de sparring y se parece a Mauricio.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's fight at 160 pounds between the former unified champion Swift, Jarrett Hurd, and Johan Gonzales. Guys, before we continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please hit subscribe? The analytics on my channel are telling me that 80% of you guys who watch my videos haven't hit subscribe yet. Could you please do that for me right now? As well as like this video and hit the bell notifications button. That'll help me pop up into your feed every time I put out something that's new. Thank you. Alright guys, this video featuring an undercard preliminary fight on the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach card this weekend in New York City was brought to you by a fan of the page. So Keith reached out to me, requested that I feature former unified champion Jarrett Hurd's next fight, and here we go. So today I'm going to break down the fight. I'm going to remind everybody who each fighter is, and I'm going to talk about the narrative and the storyline of the fight, and stay tuned to the end because I'm going to go over what Las Vegas says about this fight as well as give you my prediction. Now, at the very end of the video, I'm going to give you an option of taking all 4 fights, putting them on one parlay ticket. If you would have been watching the channel all week, I predicted the first 3 fights between Tank and Roach, Puello and Sandor Martin, and Gary Antoine Russell and Rayo Valenzuela. So this is fight number 4. This is the definition of a crossroads fight with Hurd versus Gonzales. Gonzales is a Venezuelan knockout artist. Of his 35 wins, 34 of them have come by way of knockout. Doesn't have the strongest strength of schedule, and he has been knocked out 2 out of his last 3 fights. He's world ranked at 154 pounds. This fight is taking place at 160 pounds. Jarrett Hurd has said this week that if he loses this fight, he's going to retire. He's also spoken about how the last few fights, this most recent version of Jarrett Hurd, he's been injured. And he said he's as healthy right now as he's ever been in recent years, and fans should expect what we've seen in the past when Hurd was at his best.
Question. You know, man, I swear, like I said, I'm not the type of guy to make excuses. I just know who I am as a fighter, man. And I've been in a few fights, you know, that set my career back. But I just know I'm levels above a fighter like Johan Gonzales. And I know if I can't go out there and show that for this fight, I mean, who says I can? I've been on that level before. I know what it takes to compete on the top level. And if I can't go out there and get past someone like him, I mean, I'm not naive to the fact I know what time it is for me.
This guy holds big victories over former champions such as Tony Harrison and current champion Erislandy Lara. In Jarrett's mind, he feels that if he could turn the clocks back this weekend, win in spectacular fashion, right the wrongs of his last few performances. Granted, it was a draw last performance against Jason Rosario, but the performance was a bit flat. If he could do all that, it puts him in line to give the champion at 160, Lara, a rematch at Hurd, and gives Hurd an opportunity to become a world champion once again. That is the storyline. So now let's dive deeper into the matchup. And I quote, "I know what time it is," Hurd said, 34. Conceded ahead of his pre-pay-per-view middleweight bout on Saturday night against Venezuela's Johan Gonzales, who's 35-4 with 34 knockouts at Barclays. Hurd is 25-3 with 1 draw, 17 knockouts. He's trying to climb back from a surprising skid of 3 losses out of 4 fights, punctuated by a knockout loss to Mexico's Jose Armando Resendez in Ontario, California in early 23. He's won 0-1 since, including after his Pro Box TV main event draw against former unified junior middleweight champ Jason Rosario in August. And I quote, "I feel refreshed. I got myself out of a financial situation I was in. I feel like I'm a renewed Swift, coming back to show the world who I am again," Hurd said. "I feel like the Jarrett I was, I'm back to him." While unranked among middleweights, Hurd has the opportunity to rise again given the accomplishments of his past and the fact that 2 of 3 reigning middleweight champions fight under the same PBC banner as Hurd. One of those champions is the WBC's Carlos Adames, who retained his belt on Saturday with a draw against Hamza Shiraz in Saudi. The other is Cuba's Erislandy Lara, whom Hurd memorably knocked down in the final minute of the 12th round to become a unified champion and produce the fight of the year. Lara 41 has the WBA belt. Saturday's card is packed with fighters around Hurd's home near the nation's capital in Washington. It also features Julian J-Rock Williams in the pay-per-view opener against Cuba's Yenis Tellez, the WBA's second-ranked junior middleweight contender. Williams defeated Hurd in 2019 by UD to take his belts. We've got a lot of fighters from the DMV. It's going to be a packed house, a great atmosphere for me to display what I've been working on, said Hurd, who disputed the notion he's been reduced to a gatekeeper. They can say what they want. I'm at a point I have a few fights left. You're only as good as your last fight. Once I get back to winning, they're going to love me. Hurd said winning Saturday night against the 33-year-old Gonzales in one more impressive triumph will give him that opportunity he craves. Hurd Lara 2, that's the one we all want, Hurd said. Guys, so going into this fight, what's going to happen is the Venezuelan's going to want to get back to his knocking out ways. This would be the biggest win of his career if he could defeat Jarrett Hurd. And like you heard out of his own mouth, Jarrett Hurd feels that this is a perfect opportunity to get his career back on track. 33 in boxing in that division is old, but it's not that old. He does have time if he's healthy like he says he is, if his mind's in the right place. We all know the stresses of what financial hardship could bring to the table just as normal folks like you and me. But adding the pressure of being a public figure, a former boxing champion with people to pay for and a lot of hands reaching out to you, those stresses are something that the media and the fans really don't talk about enough. So it's good to hear that Jarrett Hurd, in his own words, is out of those handcuffs per se, and he's fighting and training freely. And I expect a good performance from him. Las Vegas currently has these odds as Hurd is the underdog. So let's take a closer look at this. Guys, the current money line has Jarrett as a 2-to-1 underdog, meaning 100 gets you 200 back. Johan Gonzales at 187, meaning 100 gets you 87 on the return. Not quite a 50-50, not quite a coin flip. Currently, the money has gone towards Gonzales to defeat Jarrett Hurd. Now let's take a closer look at some of the prop bets that I like to bet on. Like I always tell you guys, the app that I use down here is called Sportsbet out of Sydney, Australia. So all of these odds are coming from them. So if you want Jarrett Hurd to win by points or decision, those odds are 4-1. 100 gets you 400. If Hurd can knock Gonzales out, 380. 100 gets you 380. Meaning that he has better odds at knocking him out. People think that if Hurd is going to win, he'll knock Gonzales out, not get a decision victory, which is interesting. The draw 17-1. The money on Gonzales winning a points decision is 440. 100 gets you 440 back. And for him to knock out Hurd, it's 3-1, meaning 100 gets you 300. So once again, people are saying if Gonzales is going to beat Hurd, he's going to more likely knock him out than win a points decision. Here's the part of the video where I'm going to predict, and I'm going to go against my father. His wise wisdom always said, bet with your wallet, not with your heart. I feel for the narrative of their careers, where they've gone, where they've been, what have you done for me lately, as well as the opportunity to kind of create a fairy tale ending for Jarrett Hurd. I'm going to go with Hurd, money line bet to beat Gonzales. I feel that he has all the tools and skill set to get the ending on his career that he wants. I think that his resume speaks for itself. And if he's as healthy as he says he is, I think he's just going to overwhelm Gonzales. Gonzales hasn't looked good in his last few fights. And like I said, his chin has begun to fade off of that aggressive style. In the comment section below, you don't have to agree with me. Which one are you taking? Are you taking the Venezuelan knockout artist? Or are you taking the former unified American champion? Leave all that in the comment section below.